Hello everyone, this is Tormies again, picking up where I left off in Fallen Angel. Let's see, where I last left it off, uh, yeah, there was very uncomfortable confrontation between MC and Yuri. Yuri's dropping out of school, and MC was being a bit of an ass, like being really pushy about it. um, And I was a bit hard on him, to be honest. In the last video. I mean, to be fair, like I know how frustrating it can be to to be with someone I care about who is not being forthcoming about something that's troubling her and just wanting to be, just tell me. So I kind of, in all honesty, I can identify with his frustration. I mean, it still sucks the way he handled it, but anyway, yeah, it sounded like breakup was occurring in the we last left off, so this is probably heading toward a bad ending or something. Let's see where it goes. At the sun, I have no idea whether it's morning or afternoon. I check my phone. 10:24 a.m. It's a bit late, but not too bad. I climb out of bed as the rain continues to pour. Well, yeah, I've got my pandemic haircut going here. It started as a trim, but I let's just say I proved why I should leave it to the barbers. Easier just to shave everything off. Anyway, moving on. I sit down on the couch. Resting my elbows on my knees, I press my face into my palms. What did I do yesterday? I yelled at Yuri for no reason. Stupid, stupid, stupid. I smack my forehead repeatedly. I got upset and let my emotions get the better of me. This is my fault. I feel like my insides are being pricked by needles. I really am a failure, huh? There has to be something I can do. I need to apologize to her. Hey, that would be a good start. Lightning continues to strike outside. I look outside my living room window. Shows no sign of stopping either. The rumbling continues to shake the ground. Flashes of white fill the glass screen. Run back upstairs. Throwing open my closet door, I grab my raincoat, going to apologize to Yuri in person. Draping it on, I begin to prepare myself for the icy rain. What in the world? I pull my phone from my pocket. It's a random number, but I recognize the area code. Hello? Hello, may I speak to Tormies, please? Speaking. And who is this? I'm calling from Northeast Medical Hospital. The hospital? And why are you calling me? You're listed as the emergency contact for Miss Sayuri. If... Hey, hang on a second. I mean, hold on a second. If he's listed as the emergency contact, then why was Yuri wait, Natsuki and then Yuri contacted before him when she was first admitted? Anyway, moving on. Sayuri, is everything okay? Yes, she's awake. My grip loosens and my phone nearly slips from my hand. Awake? Sayuri's awake. My mind begins racing faster than the lightning outside. This is incredible news, so incredible I forgot how to speak. Hello? Hello? Oh, I'm sorry. Can I see her? Of course, that was the whole purpose of this call. Okay, I'll be over there soon. Thank you so much. You're very welcome. Goodbye. Hang up and jam my phone back into my pocket. Without another thought, I tie my shoes and dash out into the storm. I arrive to the hospital. Its cold hallways do nothing to warm me up from the freezing rain. I begin to walk towards the secretary desk. Halfway to it, the hospital doors fly open. A brown-haired man wearing a regular shirt and jeans comes barreling through. He has a worried expression. He cuts past me and to the secretary desk. She points the way to a doctor. He rushes to the doctor down the hall. The doctor with the sour face points to a room. The man finally rushes into the room. I'm presuming this is significant to what's going on. I'm at a loss. Alright then. I finish my trek to the secretary desk. May I help you? I'm looking for Sayuri. She begins to scroll through her computer. Your name? Tormies. Perfect. Miss Sayuri is in room 309. She points behind me. Just take those elevators to the third floor and follow the hallway. Thank you. I practically run from the desk to the elevators as if it were a race. Third floor. Why does every part of a hospital look the exact same? I silently damn the architect who designed this place. There's a line of doors before me. As I walk past them, that should be past them, the T. Past them, I take note of the numbers. 307, 308, 309. I lightly knock on the door. There's no response. My hand presses down the handle. Stop it! I gently open the door. I walk into the hospital room. Somehow, it's even colder than the hallway. My eyes pan through the blank walls. I spot Sari laying on the bed. Hey. Sorry, I just noticed. My eyes pan through the blank walls. Typo. Hey, there's Sari in a hospital gown. Sari. Tormuse! Ah! I crossed the room in a flash and embraced Sari. Oh my god, I was so worried. I'm so sorry, Sari. Tormuse? Is that really you? I could ask you the same thing. I couldn't feel her soft skin in my hands. I wouldn't believe it was actually her. I stifle my sobs and collect myself. I stand over her bed. I'm so sorry, Tormuse. No, this is my fault. I should have done more to be there for you, Sari. I was so caught up in my own feelings I never thought about you. I was selfish. Sari just smiles sadly. You're silly, Tormuse. Huh? That was not the reaction I was expecting. I was the selfish one. I did the most selfish thing possible. I didn't think of anyone else in that moment. Her eyes were red from tears. I watched they glide down her cheek and crash onto the plain white sheets of the bed. I'm just glad you're awake. You're actually awake. I repeat myself just to confirm this is actually real. I was so scared. I really can't put into words how concerned I was. I'm sorry I made you sad. I waved my hand dismissively. Enough with the apologies. Let's agree to just both be sorry. Where's her mouth raised? Okay. So, how is everyone? Good. I nodded reassuringly. Everyone's good. Natsuki's holding down the fort for you. That's nice of her. And you and Yuri? A pang of guilt flashes over me. I still haven't apologized to her. We're fine. I lied through my teeth. Sayuri has been through enough. I don't want to worry her with my problems. I attempt to shift the topic. I know I sound like a broken record, but I'm just really glad you're awake. I was losing sleep over you. Meanwhile, I was gaining sleep. Becca said I can still keep her aloof attitude I find somewhat admirable. I don't think that's the word he meant to use. Like aloof means like you're being distant. But whatever. Moving on. Knowing she's okay does put a smile on my face. The memes. I just want things back to normal, Sayuri. She stares out the window. Do you know what it's like being in a coma, Tormuse? No, can't say that I do. It's kind of like you're sleeping. Time passes by differently when you're asleep. When I woke up, I was worried I was 50 years in the future and everyone would be all old and wrinkly. It was also scary. She stares at me with her sky blue eyes. There were times when I was aware of my surroundings. Aware? I could sense things, if that makes sense. It doesn't. Sometimes I could feel the nurse changing out my IV, or I could hear the doctor having a conversation outside. One time I heard the doctor discussing with my parents on the phone about something called the patient's right to die. Whether or not it's ethically okay to put me to sleep. My heart drops into my stomach. Just hearing those words caused my legs to grow weak. It was like I was watching the movie of my own death. And the scariest part was that I couldn't use my legs to run away. I didn't have a voice I could use to call for help or talk to myself to keep myself company. It gets lonely. You see your fears come to life. I'm glad I'm not afraid of the dark. She gives a small giggle before returning to a serious tone, or as serious as someone like Sayuri can sound. It's hard to escape your inner demons when you're encaged in your own mind. I'm so sorry you had to go through that, Sayuri. I placed my hand on hers. It was an interesting experience, to say the least. Who knew you could learn so much while being asleep? I'll make sure to tell my teachers that. We share a small laugh between us. That sound gives me a nostalgic feel of our childhood. Back when Sayuri and I would play around the block, climb trees, cause mischief. I refuse to believe that girl is gone. But as I look into her eyes, I see despair. Would it be better to go back and change what happened? Don't dwell on the past, she says as if she read my mind. Like I said, I learned something while asleep. This experience showed me what I have become. The solution I took to try to stop the pain, and in it, I almost lost the most important thing to me. My eyes have been opened to something newer, something greater. What's the word for that? An epiphany? Sorry, an epiphany? Is that the right word? Yuri would probably know. I don't know if I'll ever beat my depression, but I do know I won't let it beat me. It'll be a lifelong battle. I'm willing to stay by your side through it all. I think I'd like that. Sayuri gives me a smile, and this time it's a genuine Sayuri smile. A smile that fills this bland white room with hope, purity, and warmth. Aww. Everyone is going to be really happy to see you back. I'm sure. You know, for a second I was expecting both you and Monica to be here. Monica? Why would we be together? When I woke up, I actually spoke to her. She said you and her would visit me. Sorry, I think that anesthesia is still affecting your brain. How would Monica get a hold of me? She has your number. She what? Monica has my number? I gave it to her when you joined the club. It's only obvious the club president should be able to contact her members. My mind is having a hard time keeping up with its own thoughts. Yeah. Is this MC putting two and two together that the mysterious texter is Monica? Oh, ominous music playing. The pieces of the puzzle slowly start to take form. Tormuse, are you alright? You look like you've seen a ghost. Sayuri, where's Monica? I believe she said she'd be stopping by around... She looks at the clock on the wall. Oh, how convenient. She should be coming any second. I need to go to the bathroom. Do you mind? Not at all. Sure, my heel and power walk out the room. I run down the corridor. I don't look where I'm going. Suddenly I find myself falling. Oof. Oof. My head starts to throb. The cold tiles press against my face. I place my hands on the floor and push myself up. Collect my bearings and look to see who I ran into. Of course. As Sayuri said, how convenient. Hiya, Tormuse. You know, you should really be more careful. Even if we're in a hospital, it's best not to hurt yourself. Got the banter, Monica. I know what you've been doing. I stick my finger in her face? This ends now. Why are you trying to fuck up my life? What do you mean, Tormuse? You think I'm dense, huh? I figured out your little game. All those strange texts, they're from you. Well, it took you long enough to figure that out. Oh, that's so. She's going to be a little more forthcoming about what she's doing. What's wrong with you? Find enjoyment in ruining other people's lives? I could ask you the same thing. Uh-oh, angry eyebrows. None of this would have happened if it weren't for her. Her? What are you talking about now? You and your little girlfriend. Think you can intrude on my life? We didn't intrude on anything. Yeah, we really didn't intrude on anything. Why does Monica even care? Did we ruin your perfect life? Yes. I'm stunned by a straightforward answer. You did. Everything was perfect. My family was loving, my grades were second to none, everyone loved me, I had friends, I had a club I was proud of. The only thing missing was someone to share it with. And then you came along, and finally I had someone to share my life with. But you didn't choose me. Micah's voice grows louder with every sentence. Yonder much. It's a little obsessive for someone that barely had any interaction with him to be talking about spending her life with him. Anyway, moving on. You didn't choose me. Why, Tormuse? You could have had something perfect, but instead you chose a broken girl. You shut your mouth right now. I step face to face with Monica. You can't do anything now. I tried to warn you. I tried showing you her true side, but you were too oblivious. Why? Why could you have loved me instead? Hospital staff and even some patients have been silently witnessing our quarrel. My life could have been perfect. Why didn't you choose me? Maybe you're not as perfect as you think. Monica is shocked by my words. I recognize that look in her eyes. It's the same look Sayuri showed when she confessed about her depression. Same one Natsuki showed me when she spoke of her father. It's even the same look Yuri had when she told me about her cutting. They all share that same look in their eyes, the look of fear, fear of being lost in an unforgiving world. I didn't want any of this, Monica. I just wanted a normal life. That's not what was given to me. Just like you, I had dreams of a perfect life, but this world isn't perfect. You have to learn that eventually. Monica looks heartbroken. Words come out as a whisper. No! No, 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 no! I worked too hard for this. I worked too hard to get what I wanted, but in the end... Monica gazes down the hall to where room 309 is. I hurt the ones I love. Love? What a stupid word. You need to accept the past, Monica. Everything you do has consequences. You have to live with them. But you can still change who you are. Why did I say that? Maybe it's the look in Monica's eyes. They all share the same look. Just like Yuri, Monica is a lost girl in a cruel world. I feel a little pity for her. We can forgive you. Monica shakes her head. You don't know what I've done. It'll be okay, Monica. I told everyone. Told everyone what? It was the only way to get her out of the picture. Monica's emerald eyes begin to turn red. And once again, I find myself eye level with the crying girl. Told everyone what? I have connections with a lot of people in school. I sent a message out to nearly the entire school student body. Monica, what was in those messages? She refuses to look at me. I told everyone about Yuri. About her cutting. No, that's not nice. For just a moment, my heart stops beating. I stand there for a while in shock. The sound of nurses walking by, the EKGs beeping, even the storm outside has been drowned by my own silence. I feel like I'm floating in a void, and as I stare into the abyss, it stares back. Same feeling when I was told Sayuri was in a coma. But this time I'm not crying. I become numb to pain. Time doesn't heal wounds on the heart. They just fill with scar tissue and the pain lessens, but the pain never truly leaves. Why, Monica? It was the only option I had left, the only way I knew to bring you to me. This is why Yuri wanted to drop out. And if she goes to school, everyone will know what she's been hiding. Everyone will see her as the girl who cuts herself for pleasure. My mind races and my heart beats out of my chest. I can hear my own blood flowing rapidly throughout my body. My eyes begin to flutter to every single inch of these colorless halls. I whisper to myself, I need to find Yuri. Even after all this, you still can't let her go. That doesn't seem like reason to let her go, but well, whatever. I look up at Monica. Every cell in my body wants to beat her to the ground. I ball my fist. All I need is for my nervous system to send a signal to send my hand flying through the air. But I just stand still. Instead, I use my last reserve of energy to make a break to the hospital doors. My feet carry me as I trudge through the icy rain to Yuri's house. I throw myself against the front door and reach for the knob. Locked. I don't bother knocking. I clumsily lift up the doormat and find the spare key. After numerous attempts with shaky hands, I finally stick the key in. Once I hear the bolts turn, I throw open the door. Did he at least call ahead? I pan my eyes frantically through the downstairs of Yuri's house. It's barren. I search everywhere, but there's no sign of Yuri. She had to have left some sort of trace. An opening with two ends. Should be one end. All her drawers and cabinets. Going through drawers and cabinets now? Upon opening one drawer, I find something that looks familiar. I take a cylindrical object and it makes a rattling sound. I lift it up. In my hands is a bottle of pills. A full bottle of pills. Pills that Yuri's supposed to take to suppress her urge to cut herself. Read the label. Each bottle contains exactly 60 pills. I open the cap and pour the pills onto the table. They scatter and I use my hands to push them into a pile. Sliding each pill one by one, I begin counting. 1, 2, 3, 9, 18, 25, 36, 49, 57, 58, 59. With my index finger, I slide the last pill next to the others. 60. I stare blankly at the pile of medicine, unable to focus my thoughts. For a second, I even begin to forget where I am. What the... Interrupted by a small raindrop hitting the counter and making a small splash. Followed by another one, and another. I look up. To my surprise, a wet spot in the ceiling has appeared and is leaking. First I see him in the rain, but then I remember I'm on the first floor. An imaginary blueprint of Yuri's house begins to form in my head. If I'm in the kitchen, then directly above me should be Yuri's bathroom. I rush upstairs at ungodly speed. I crashed through the bedroom door. Cash trough the bedroom door. So I think it's supposed to have an H through. I crashed through the bedroom doors. Immediately, my eyes began to look around for any signs of Yuri. Alas, there's no one here, except beside the bed is an open box. My stomach churns as I slowly creep towards it. It's Yuri's knife collection. We never threw it out. As I walk up to it, I notice a single empty spot where a blade once laid. There's something else I notice. The sound of water. Not the melodic orchestra of raindrops on a roof, the running water of a faucet. Crane my neck towards the sound. I think I already know what we're going to find, but let's see how this plays out. It's coming from the bathroom. I reach out and tightly grip the handle. Locked. No intention in knocking. I step back and prepare myself. Charge the door. I guess I'll save it. Oh boy, alright. I run full speed at the door. My shoulder connects to the wood and I'm bounced back. Again. I plant my feet firmly. Another sprint to the door. Again I hit the door. I'm bounced onto the floor. My shoulder aches in pain. I get up and plant my feet again. Third time's the charm. I run full speed. I hurl my body against the wood. It gives but doesn't open. Once again I'm on the floor. The door busted off its hinges. My body is crying in pain. I use my good arm to push myself up. After collecting myself, I replant my feet. Again. I summon every bit of strength I have. My shoulder crashes the door one last time. It breaks open. I lay on the floor, my energy sapped. I can no longer move my arm. I fear I've dislocated it. My arm is screaming in agony. I try to move, but I'm in too much pain. I also notice I'm wet. Sweat? No, not sweat, but water. The floor has become covered in water from the faucet. I try to collect myself as much as I can. With my good arm, I steady myself and look up. You're... yeah. Oh, what the hell? No. I try to shout this, but my voice barely comes out. No, no, no! I sprawl towards the tub. There lays in a red-tinted water-filled tub. I hunch over the toilet and throw up. However, my stomach is empty and my abdomen just cramps and tightens. My vision begins to blur as tears fill my eyes. I watch they crash and join the scarlet river on the tile floor. To say I can't think properly is an understatement. I lift myself up. There's no pain as the adrenaline courses through my body. Yuri! Yuri! I grab her chin and tilt her face towards me. Yuri! I shout in denial of her still body. Her fair skin has now turned pure white. Her purple hair now tinted red from the pool. I lift her arm from out of the water. They show new lines, each going perpendicular to the ones of the past. Her emotionless face stares into nothingness. I just sit on the blood-stained floor and stare at her. Tears continue to flow down my face. The only thing I can do is stare into her lavender eyes. For the first time, they fail to pierce back into mine. Yeah, well... Oh, there's another act? Act 4, House Full of Roses. You've unlocked a special poem. Would you like to read it? Oh, lovely. I mean... I kind of knew this was coming from the beginning, pretty much. I mean, like, from before I played the mod, from the way people talked about it, I sort of presumed that, like, Yuri was going to die. And, you know, there's kind of foreshadowing, you know, oh, till death do us part and all that. I keep bringing that up. So yeah, I don't know if I want to try the other options to find out if there's a good ending to this. Like I'm half afraid of of trying the other options and leading to the same thing, but I don't know. I don't know. Let's see how this plays out. All right, here we go. Denial. This isn't real. The pain inside me, the things that I see. This isn't real. I still think maybe there's a chance. Maybe if I take a second glance, this isn't real. My mind is just playing a trick. A reality I choose not to pick. This isn't real. I don't believe it. I can't believe it. I shouldn't believe it. It's just lies. It's not real. What isn't real can't hurt me, so why do I hurt? This isn't real. 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 It can't be real. For the second time today, I find myself in the hospital. The other side this time, the emergency room. I sit on the colorless starch sheets of the hospital bed, a shoulder sling over my right arm. With adrenaline gone, I rely on painkillers to keep myself stable. Memories are only stored in pieces. I visited Syrie in the hospital. I ran to Monica. I found a full bottle of pills. I broke down Yuri's door, and then I called 911. My head is still throbbing. It physically hurts to remember the events that just transpired. My eyes switch between the four walls that surround me. I stretch my neck to look out into the emergency room. Nurses and doctors occasionally walk by. Finally, one nurse steps inside. Hello. Ah, hello. How are you feeling? I don't know how to answer. My mind is drugged by both painkillers and shock. The nurse then goes into a procedure of asking me questions to assess my mental state. Can you tell me your name? Yes. Shock is one hell of a drug. What is your name? Oh, Tormuse. She continues to read some notes on the computer. Do you know what day it is? We had a visit with Dr. Langton Saturday, which was yesterday, so Sunday. The nurse nods. And do you know where you are? The all too familiar looking walls answer that. The hospital. I stare at the navy blue sling around my arm. You dislocated it. We were able to pop it back into place, but it will take time to fully heal. It's best to keep it in a sling for a while. Yuri. Where's Yuri? The girl you came in with? I'm sorry, I'm not her nurse. I believe she's being treated by a doctor down the hall. I bolt off the bed and exit the room. The nurse calls out, Hey, wait! Continue to run down the hall. Whoa there, kiddo. A man in a white coat intercepts me. Are you the doctor? I am a doctor, yes. Wait, you're the one who came in with that girl. Yuri? But where is she? Is she okay? The doctor's face says it all. Why don't we take a seat? With his hand on my shoulder, but I swat it off. No, I don't believe you. Let me see her. Where is she? I'm sorry. By the time we were able to treat her, it was already too late. You're lying. She's not dead. She's not. My mind begins to fail coming up with a proper reaction. I see guards turn the corner, quickly approaching me. The doctor places his hand up as to motion them to hold off. I finally collapse onto a wooden bench. The doctor gets down on one knee and places a hand on my shoulder once more. I press my face into my palms. This isn't real. This isn't real. This isn't real. I learned something on this bench just now. The bench where the little girl is told she has cancer. The bench where a child learns their parent had a fatal heart attack. Where a mom is told her son was in a horrific car accident. The same bench where I'm told the one thing I cared about in this world has been ripped away from me. Exact same bench where I learned that love isn't something tangible. True love only exists in... It exists? Only exists in moments. And then another moment it's gone before you even knew you had it. Guess I might as well save it again. You unlocked a special poem. Would you like to read it? Okay. Anger. 7 deadly sins, lined like a shopping list. Which one do I pick today? I grab the bright red bottle and pop the cap. Veins fill with hate and eyes fill with torment. Fists clench ready to break. Break anything and everything. The fires of hell corrupt my soul, lashing out at anyone who comes close. Tearing and ripping, ripping and tearing. Tearing at the things I love. Tearing at my very being. I'm no longer myself. The spirit of wrath knocks on my door, and I'm foolish enough to let him in. Is that a Doom reference there? 4 days later. Okay, moving on. Doc, you ever look at someone and your heart just melts? I'm sorry about what happened. I just still can't believe she's really gone. He jots down some things on his notepad. How does all that make you feel? Empty. I don't really feel anything anymore. It's a bit hard to describe, really. Do you know what nothingness feels like, Doc? Your mind has had some time to process the initial shock. This period can be a dangerous time for you. A lot of different emotions may go through your mind. Look, can you just give me medication or something so I can leave? We'll get to that. I can't just give them to you straight away. My eyes trace the walls of the room. Can you tell me what's on your mind? What's on my mind? I repeat him absent-mindedly. What's on my mind? It's good to get your mind off the event. You don't understand, Doc. I can't get it out of my head. My voice cracks with every word. What do you mean? You weren't there. I began to raise my voice at him. You didn't see the look in her eyes. You didn't have to sit in an ambulance and tell the paramedics what happened. You didn't have to relive every single moment while being questioned by police. You're not the person who, every single time I close my eyes, Doc, I just see her sitting in that bathtub. I just want the image out of my head. And that's why I need you to give me some pills or something. Okay. I look up at him. It's going to be okay. Those are some pretty empty words in this circumstance. I can give you a prescription based off what you're feeling. So just keep telling me what you feel. I don't feel anything. I scream at him and slam my fist into the table. I just don't understand. I did everything right. Citation needed. I did everything I could, but it wasn't enough. Did you though, MC? Did you? I could give an itemized list of everything he did wrong, but anyway, I digress. Moving on. How does that... Stop asking me how I fucking feel! I shoot up onto my feet. Please, Tormes, don't say shit to me. I point my finger at him maliciously. You don't care about me. I'm just another patient to you. You don't care about me or Yuri or anyone. We're all the same in your eyes. You're just another paycheck for you. The words spit sharply out of my mouth. We're just a way for you to feed your fancy lifestyle, or maybe some fancy jewelry for your wife, or a fun vacation with your kids. That's all we mean to you. You know that's not true. I chose this profession because I want to help people who aren't strong enough to help themselves. I scramble back and forth around the office. My voice cracks under my anger. Just give me back my life. I grab the coffee table and topple it over. Papers fill the air as the doctor instinctively jumps back. Pens clatter against the floor. You sit in your chair, ask me a couple of questions, and send me on my way. You talk about trauma as if you know what I'm going through. You see so many people with so many different problems, and yet you look at them all the same. So here's the real crazy person, Doc. He stands there like he's frozen in place. That's what I thought. I'm out of here. Tormes, please. I storm through the door and don't look back. I sit bitterly on my couch and bury my face into my palms. My hands tremble in anger. I run my fingers through my hair until it looks like a destroyed bird's nest. Tears begin to stream down my face. Tears of frustration and anxiety. My legs launch me back up at Mach speed. For some reason I can't stay still. I begin to pace my living room floor. My eyes continue to flash between the corners of my house. I don't think my eyes have focused on one stagnant object all day now that I think about it. Ah! I scream at the top of my lungs in order to release all of my bottled up anger. Ah! I collapse back onto the couch, my energy sapped. My breathing grows heavy and raspy. For some reason my frustration still hasn't left. I lean over my couch and grab a potted plant. Flinging it across the room, it shatters against the wall. Shards ricochet in every direction. My heart continues to beat furiously. If this goes on any longer, my chest is going to explode. I throw my body into the wall. With a thud, my knuckles collide with the sheetrock. Again. My fist goes through the wall. I slowly retract my hand back. My knuckles are covered in blood. My right arm in a sling and my left hand bloody. I absent-mindedly stare at the red patches of lost skin around my knuckles. It's funny how the same color we used to represent love also represents anger. I guess they're more or less the same. They both can destroy something within seconds. Both only ever end in pain. My body gives and I fall onto the floor, and just like me, my whole world comes crashing down as well. I lay lifeless. I clench my fist until my knuckles turn white. I let out a long breath. Eventually, my body relaxes and the color of my knuckles return. My heart still continues to beat irregularly. I take a look at my wounds. I just don't understand. Why me? Physical exhaustion eventually overtakes my hyperactive mind and I find myself drifting off to sleep. Oh, okay. Wow, this is all pretty intense. I was gonna make I was gonna make a joke about, oh, this is getting so dramatic like I did before, but yeah. All right, let's yeah, see where it goes. You unlocked a special poem. Would you like to read it? All kidding aside, there's some nice poetry in this. Anyway, oh yes, okay. Going through the stages of grief, bargaining. Why wasn't it me? Take me instead, but leave her here. I lie awake in bed, flooded with all my fears because it should have been me. I don't know what went wrong, how she got away. I should have known along I couldn't make it all okay, so it should have been me. I'll change my way of life just to see her again. I'm so much pain and strife. I guess this is the end. So just take me. That's not how you work, from what I can infer. You won't bring her forth, so I can just be with her. So if you won't take me, I'll take myself. Mm-mm. If he's contemplating suicide, then it's too soon. You have to go through the other stages of grief. There's like, what, 7 of them? Um, okay, there's denial, anger, bargaining. Um, maybe there aren't 7. Wait, what are the stages of grief? I feel like I should Google this. I'm trying to move off the top of my head. I think like depression or grief. Like and then I know acceptance is the last one. Um, anyway, moving on. I have a feeling we're going through all the stages of grief before the end of this thing. Oh. Alright, this is intense. Let's keep going. Let's go. I wake up on the living room floor. My body feels heavy. Don't remember much of anything these past few days. I try to push myself up. Every muscle in my body begins to scream in agony. Mustering all my strength, I lean up against my couch. I pan my eyes around the room. Extending my neck, I can see the broken remains of my potted plant. It's weird being isolated for so long. I lived my whole life in an empty home. However, now is the first time I've actually felt truly alone. They say loneliness is a universal fear of all living creatures. Do they say that? Why couldn't it have been me? I slowly rise up and begin to pace the room. My eyes dart from one focus to the next. The hole in the wall, the broken vase, my bloody knuckles, my slinged arm. There's more to it, I know it. Yeah, it's a glitched version of the song. I grab a stack of paper and a pen and begin writing things down. With a slinged arm and busted hand, it looks more like scribbles than anything. I continue to incoherently write my thoughts down. To anyone else, it would only look like a mess of sporadically placed lines, but to me, it's a timeline of all the events. I look at the mess before me. Now, where to begin? What could I have changed? Could have arrived to the house sooner, or was it too late? Earlier than that, I continued to shoot my pupils to different parts of the scribbles. What stirred this? What, the argument? The messages? The boys? Medication? Earlier than that, Yuri's home life. If only I'd met her sooner. No, I should have stopped Monica from telling everyone. My mind races from one thought to the next. I should have paid more attention to those texts. I should have kept an eye on Yuri and made sure she was taking her meds. I could not have known she wasn't taking her meds. I shut this to my empty kitchen. No response. It's fine. This is fine. I'm fine. As the papers on my counter says otherwise. If only it didn't take me so long to break down that door. Or maybe if I called 911 sooner. All these thoughts continue to form a hurricane within my head. It's making me dizzy. What if I didn't visit Sayuri at the hospital? It had to be that. I wasted too much time. Or was Yuri already gone by the morning? I should ask her. How would I do that? I look up at my ceiling. Hey, anyone there? I'd like to make a deal. Get no response yet again. Any chance I can get Yuri back? I'll pay you. I'll become a better person. Is that what you want to hear? I shout louder at my ceiling. My head sinks down in shame and I stare back at the maelstrom of paper. I whisper to myself. I've gone insane. Like a deer, my head jerks to the sudden sound of my doorbell. I open the door with as little effort as possible. Natsuki appears on the other side. Hey. It's for horses. I made my response with as little enthusiasm as possible. Can I come in? I guess. Turn around and walk back into the living room. Could care less if Natsuki follows me. That expression still bothers me. It's I couldn't care less. That is the saying. I don't know why it became popular to say I could care less. That doesn't mean anything. I care so little that I couldn't care any less. Hence, I couldn't care less. What does I could care less mean? That doesn't mean anything. Okay, moving on. Sorry. She follows me into the cell I call home. So, you doing alright? I think so. It's a lie. I don't look at her. Instead, I stand hunched over, eyes staring blankly at the ground behind her. Natsuki begins to take a look around my house. Her eyes glance at the hole in the wall, then at me, then at the potted plant, then at me, then at the scroll of markings on my counter, and then back at me. Termes? I throw my hand up dismissively. I don't want to hear it. I just want to stand in silence for a moment. She opens her mouth in protest, but then closes it. Silence is a fragile thing. It can be broken by just a slip of the tongue. It makes you wonder, how can something so heavy be so delicate at the same time? Why? Why what? Why did you come here? To check up on you. Why? Did you feel bad for me? Worried I'd kill myself? Afraid I would go jump off the nearest bridge and drown myself just so I can see Yuri? Yeah, the references. You're all the same. You, the doctor, the kids in school, me. I tried to be different, I really did. You were different. If that were true, Yuri would still be alive. This entire time I fight to hold back my tears. The feeling of sorrow smothers me completely. She really did love you. I know. That's why it hurts so much. I look away from Natsuki, trying to hide the fact that I'm crying. Can you please just leave? I'll be fine, I assure her. I just need some time alone to think. Thank you for coming and checking up on me. I know you mean well, but I'd rather be alone right now. He stands there quietly for a moment. I wish I could go back. Believe me, I really do. But we can't, Tormuse. I'm really sorry for what happened. I feel the same as you. All this time my friend was hurting and I never knew. Some nights I'd lie awake wondering where it went wrong. What I could have done to change it all. But there's no use in letting it consume you. You have to move on from your past. She looks down at the ground sullenly. You know I did. She recollects herself and faces me again. You have to accept what happened eventually. I know it's hard, but time heals all wounds. With that, she turns on her heels and leaves my house. I feel like I should comment on the fact that MC repeatedly insisted on barreling in on Yuri and you know, forcing his company on her when she said she wanted to be alone. But makes it like, I don't want to say he's being hypocritical. Okay, maybe he is, but it's a kind of a harsh way for him to learn why. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say if it's the. It's hard to know like what's where to draw that line, like of what am I trying to say here? Like when you should when you should force your way in and like try to be there for the person, or when to like leave well enough alone. Um, um, and I said this before in other videos, like particularly with my other mod, with my other mod, my mod that I made. Sayuri says no to suicide. Um, the important thing to ask is, are you thinking of killing yourself? Like he even said it right here. Worried I'd kill myself. That would have been a good time for Natsuki to ask him, well, are you thinking of killing yourself? Um, she didn't ask that critical question. I think that's where this mod is going. Um, yeah, we'll see. Oh boy. Okay. All right. With that, she turns on her heel and leaves the house. She's wrong. Time doesn't heal wounds. Time just lets you grow numb to the pain. I stare back up at my ceiling. I just want her back. I just want to hold her again. I just look into her eyes one last time. At least let me say goodbye. I fall to my knees. I'm back in the same spot I woke this morning. On the uncomfortable carpet, I decide to close my eyes once again. Yeah. Guess I might as well save it before each poem. So I think it's depression is the next one? Yeah. Outside is a smile. Outside is a frown. Sorry. Trying to drink more water. I'm trying to drink more water because I'm finding my I don't know. I'm getting like more and more raspy the more I do my narration. It's probably just really dry in here. Anyway, outside is a smile. Inside is a frown. Outside you see a hole. Inside is just the pieces. Outside is warm. Inside is cold. Outside there's emotion. Inside there's emptiness. Outside you hear laughter. Inside there's only silence. Outside there's a smell of flowers. Inside it's rotten and tainted. Outside is a bright sunny day. Inside is a dark stormy night. Outside can find success. Inside only knows failure. Outside is just lies. Outside is a mask. Inside the mask is pain. Inside the mask is fear. Inside the mask is nothing at all, because I am nothing until I put on the mask. Is that a Payday reference? We've been putting references in the poems too. Cool. I jolt awake in a cold sweat. I look around my room. How did I even get here? Last thing I remember was Natsuki visiting yesterday. Was that yesterday? What day is it? I look outside my window. There's nothing but gray. I climb out of bed and immediately fall to my knees. My head is throbbing. I head towards the bathroom to cool off. I turn on the cold water and begin to rinse my face. Over the running of the faucet I hear an ominous noise. You failure. Huh? My head jerks up and I find myself face to face with my reflection. There's a twisted grin on his face. Oh, what's happening? You couldn't save her. What's wrong with you? Do you know how important you were to her? Stop it! You let her die alone. No, stop it! She died alone. Shut up! I cover my ears with my hands. I squeeze my ears so tightly my ear canals begin to hurt. You're not real! Well, I'm as real as you are. I'm just a reflection of you, after all. He or I say that in a matter-of-fact way. You can't hide from yourself. Stop talking to me! Do you know how much you meant to her? Why are you doing this? You meant everything to her, and then you just yelled right into her face. This is insanity. Insanity? Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity? Shut up! Please! I lean my head atop the counter. My tears leave my eyes and crash into the tile. You're going to need a wet floor sign. Fuck you! Whoa, that's no way to speak to yourself. I hate you! You seem to forget that I am you, so therefore you hate yourself. Makes sense, really. You're mad, depressed, in denial. Those terms sound familiar. I'm not depressed. Is that why you've been crying? Why you scream when no one can even hear you? Sure hope you don't try to hang yourself. Shut up! I punch my glass self in his face. Shattered pieces fall to the ground in a symphony of crashes. I stare down at the broken pieces. With shaky hands I pick up a long shred of glass. It's only thick enough for me to see my own eyes. It scares me, the emptiness in my eyes. I look up to what remains of my mirror. My condescending self is gone, broken. My eyes shoot back down to the shard in my hand. With my right hand I firmly grasp it. My vision begins to crane towards the blank canvas that is my left arm. Like writing a book, right? This glass, my pen, my blood, the ink. I press the cold glass against my skin. My body shivers upon contact. My hands continue to shake violently. I angle the blade long ways and clench my eyes shut. Just one cut. I just have to see her again. I can't go on like this. I just want to be with her again. I just want to see her. My breathing grows heavier and heavier. My arm refuses to move. Do it! Do it! Damn it. I drop the glass shard and it breaks into even smaller pieces among impact. I can't do it. My breaths grow shallow. I slide down my bathroom wall until I reach the floor. I can't do it. I huddle into a fetal position on the freezing tiles. My body lays still in a puddle of blood and tears, the broken remnants of my mirror in front of me. Tears continue to pour out my face. Why, Yuri? Why is it that every time you make me cry, I love you a little bit more? I continue to cry until I can't cry anymore. I cry until I no longer feel the pain inside. More special poem. Yeah, I suppose I should make a comment that yeah, the as is indicated by the mod, the quote unquote correct way to kill yourself by slashing wrists is to do it the long way, so you open up the arteries. I generally I don't like to talk about that because I don't really want to spread that information around. I mean, a lot because that method of suicide fails a lot because people do it the quote unquote wrong way and then survive the attempt. What am I trying to say here? I don't know. I just I guess I just don't want people to kill themselves. Like I've talked about like depression and suicidal ideation before, like in other videos, and it's it's easy to feel in that moment that like that the terrible feelings of depression are going to last forever, but and that's part of what makes people sink into despair and not you know and want to go through with killing themselves. But you know things can get better. Like, which I know it sounds like empty, hollow words, but like especially if you're in the moment. But it is in the end, it is only a feeling, and don't even know what I'm trying to say here. I'm just gonna continue. You unlocked a special poem. Would you like to read it? So I guess this one will be acceptance, I think. Acceptance, yeah. Okay, yeah, so there are 5 of them. Time doesn't heal all wounds. It just allows you to become numb to the pain. It's been a long ride. There's a lot of things I wish I didn't do. I bottled all my pain inside, but now I have to let go of you. The memories we made, all the time we shared, all the love we gave, that perfume in your hair. Your name is etched into my heart. Your laugh will ring through my ears. I refuse to let me be torn apart. I won't be consumed by my fears. I continue life with you in mind, and live every day just for you. The wounds will heal given time, as you sit there in that sky of blue. You lay there still without a sound, and fly up to heaven's sky. The casket sinks into the ground, and thus I say my last goodbye to my amethyst angel. My eyes open ever so slowly. Sorry, a completely different note. Every time the poem goes, the "Okay Everyone" song briefly plays for a second as it's fading, and I know why that's happening because of the code that Dan Salvato put in the poem music. Like it's designed to when the poem fades to switch back to the to the "Okay Everyone" song. That's a bug that's easily fixed, by the way, Noah. If you plan to release an updated version of this. Anyway, moving on. My eyes open ever so slowly. What? My body goes into a state of shock. What the hell? How did I get here? I pan my eyes along the landscape. How am I here? I was at home. I remember falling asleep on the floor. Ugh. The low-hanging sun blinds my vision. I raise my hand to shield my eyes. Suddenly I spot a figure in the distance without an A. I slowly walk towards it. Is he sleepwalking? Slowly but surely, the figure starts to take form. Huh? I forget my pace. Yuri? Yuri! I wave my arms to get her attention. Eventually, I arrive just a few feet from her. She finally notices me. Hello, Tormuse. Take a look around at the landscape. Yuri has her back turned towards me as if she's looking at the same scene as me. She gives me a sidelong glance. Yuri, what's going on? What do you mean? Am I dead? Do you feel dead? I pat my hands along my body. No. Is this a dream or is this real? Aren't dreams just reflections of the real world? Now's not the time for riddles. I begin to take some steps and reach out to her. Oof! What the? I press my hands in front of me. Ripples float through the air. Some sort of magical barrier between me and her. Yuri, I can't get through. Bang my hands against the wall. Yuri finally turns to me. You're not ready yet. What? Your voice is an echoey, almost angelic sound. Sound it. I guess a sound to it. Does echoey have an E there? It sounds far away, but so clear at the same time. No, please let me in. I wish I could, but if I let you, you won't be able to get back. What if I don't want to go back? I want to be with you. I know, but you have others who rely on you. They need you. I'll just let them down like I let you down. Yuri gives me a puzzled look. I'm sorry. I begin to cry. I make tears glide down my cheeks to my chin before crashing down to earth. I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. I shouldn't have yelled at you. I should have been there to support you when you needed me. Tell me, Tormuse, why do you blame yourself? Isn't it obvious? I didn't do anything to help you. You have no idea how much you helped me. If it weren't for you, I would have taken my life long before. I would have died without at least knowing what true love is like. I can't imagine a worse way to go. I don't want you to go. I respond in a shrill voice. It hurts to talk through my tears. I can't do this without you. Did my poem not mean anything to you? I meant every word I said. be so quick to forgive me? Tormuse, you were never to blame in the first place. I hang my head and continue to sob. Now my tears just spill straight from my eye sockets. I don't know what to do. I need your help. There has to be a way to bring you back. I think we both know that's not possible. My voice drops down to a whisper. I know. It's just so hard. My heart just refuses to move on. It's like my mind is telling me it's just not worth it anymore. Why live when the only thing worth living for is gone? And the reason she's gone is because of me. I continue to hang my head in sorrow and watch as my tears hit the dirt. Can you answer another question for me, Tormuse? Okay. Hypothetically, if you were to be diagnosed with cancer tomorrow, would you blame yourself for getting sick? What? That was a random question. But no. No, I wouldn't. She steps closer to me, as close as this invisible barrier will allow her. Then why do you blame yourself for having depression? I look up at her. Yuri stares at me. No, not at me. It's like she's staring directly into my soul. She's staring at my true self. I'm found speechless. The words she's saying toss and turn in my head. You have to go now. Wait, but you have your own life to live. You have other people counting on you. Please don't make the same mistake I did. But what about you? What about us? She gives me a soft smile. I can wait for you. Perhaps when I see you again, we can hold hands just like we used to. Now it's my turn to give her a soft smile, a soft, teary-eyed smile. Yuri, I think I finally learned what love is. Did you now? I nod. She gives me a look as if she knew I was going to say that this whole time. Perhaps you can tell me what that meaning is when we see each other again. When will that... But now you have someone waiting for you. What? Tormuse? Tormuse? Tormuse, where are you? Huh? I wake up in a cold sweat on my bathroom floor. What happened? Where's Yuri? I look around trying to collect my bearings. The shattered remains of my mirror are on the floor. I finally realize where I am. Hello? Anyone home? A familiar voice calls out from my bathroom door. Sayuri. She can't see me like this. I attempt to get up. Ah! Head feels like it's splitting open. I press my hand against my forehead and shut my eyes tightly. I can feel my brain pounding against the front of my skull. Bathroom door gently opens. Ah, Tormuse! Sayuri rushes over to me. There's a message that flashed by there. Tormuse, Tormuse, okay. Tormuse, what did you do? Her eyes begin to scan the room like a detective. She notices the glass on the floor and the blood on my knuckles. Sayuri grabs my wrist and examines my hand. You punched your mirror? She says that with a disappointed tone. I didn't like what I saw. Tormuse, do you think you're ugly? Because you're not. I think you're very cute. Of course, my mouth slightly curled. Thanks, Sayuri. Now let's clean you up. She searches the cabinet for some bandages and peroxide. Bingo! Let's get you off your butt. Sayuri throws my arm over her shoulder and helps me up. I try not to put my weight on her, but as soon as I stand up, my eyes enter another dimension and I become dizzy. Ugh. Sayuri supports me. Here, lean on the counter. She carefully sweeps off any excess shards of glass. I do as I'm told and rest myself upon the bathroom counter. What are you doing here? The doctor told me I was in good enough condition to leave, so I figured before I went home I'd visit you. I'm glad I did. How long have you been on the floor? I shake my head. I have no idea. Sayuri gives me a pouty look. You really shouldn't sleep on the floor. It's bad for your neck. I know. I still find myself a victim of one of Sayuri's lectures. She gestures for me to raise my hand over the sink, and I do so. The bottle of peroxide hovers menacingly over my hand. This is gonna sting. I know. Sayuri tips the bottle. Keep my mouth shut tight to not show any display of pain. Sayuri dabs the wound with a wet towel and begins to bandage it up. I guess you learned some stuff while in the hospital, huh? Sayuri gives me a large smile. Just call me Nurse Sayuri from now on. Give a small chuckle. You know, Tormuse, this kind of reminds me of when we were little kids. Yeah, how so? Well, the rules are reversed now, but I remember when we were little kids, we would always play in the neighborhood. We would run around, climb trees. I would always try to keep up with you despite you being much faster, and sometimes I would fall and get hurt. And you would stop everything and come and care for me. Whether I scraped my knee or cut my hand, you were always there to help me. You would say, "Sorry, look at me. It's okay. Everything will be okay." I remember I used to just start carrying around band-aids in my pockets just in case you hurt yourself. You would make me feel better and stay with me until the pain went away. I remember back to when Sayuri and I were little kids, getting into trouble left and right, all the things little kids do. Guess I always assumed Sayuri and I were equal. I didn't realize that all this time she was just trying to stay close to me. Remember when I fell in that pond near the park? Yeah, your parents are mad. You jumped in because I was drowning. You weren't drowning, the water's only about 2 feet deep. Is that so? I realize my hand has already been fully bandaged, yet Sayuri still hasn't let go of it. My eyes lock onto her sky blue eyes. This is what Yuri meant, isn't it? They have unfinished business here. I can't leave without knowing the people I care about will be okay. Sayuri notices she's been holding my hand and quickly lets go. Sorry! It's fine. We should sit down somewhere. Okay. Sayuri and I step out into my room. I take a seat on my bed. Hey, what's that? Sayuri walks towards a small wooden box sitting atop my nightstand. Excuse me. It looks like a radio. Yeah, it is. Remember when Yuri gave me that radio as a gift? Now it's one of the few things I have to remember her by. Sayuri bends down eye level with the wooden radio. Her eyes dazzle like a child's. She brushes her hand along its edges. Eventually with 3 L's, her fingers find the dials. And then, click! The room fills with music. Not a bad tune. I like it. Sayuri begins bobbing her head up and down to the rhythm. This is really cute. Where'd you get it? Yuri gave it to me. That's sweet. Where's Yuri now? She doesn't know. That makes sense. She's been in the hospital this entire time. Sayuri, why don't you take a seat? Okay. Sayuri gives me a look of concern. She sinks down next to me. Where do I even begin? I guess I should start from the beginning. All the way from the beginning. Remember that day when Yuri and Monica got into an argument and Yuri ran out the room? I tell Sayuri the whole story. Give her as many details as I can over what's happened in the past several months. Well, everything minus the past few days. No, that's not true. I stay silent to allow Sayuri to process what she had just heard. You're lying! Her voice cracks and she breaks into a sob. Sayuri throws herself onto me. I can feel a wet spot form on my shoulder. She cries loudly into my ears. I simply stroke the back of her head to comfort her. After a few minutes, Sayuri seems to compose herself as much as she can. I grab her by the shoulders. Sayuri, look at me. I speak to her in a soft voice as if she was made of glass that could shatter by any loud noise. It's okay. Everything's going to be okay. I'm here for you, always. Sayuri nods as she wipes away her tears. You seem to be taking this rather well. I looked at my bandaged hand. I wouldn't exactly say that, but recently I did have a change of heart. What's the word for that? Sayuri smiles through her tears. An epiphany? I don't think that's quite right, but sure, we'll go with that. She gives me a small grin. I can't really explain it very well. It's just like something inside me is telling me that it's time to move on. I know it's weird, but I believe you. Sayuri brushes the hair out of my face. You're my best friend, Sayuri, and I mean that in the best way possible. I know you do. It just took me some time to understand that. I've made a lot of mistakes. So have I. I've hurt a lot of people. And so have I. I quietly chuckled to myself. I suppose we're both just huge messes, huh? That's why you make such good friends. She gives me the most sincere smile I've ever seen rest upon her face. I suppose I was wrong, Sayuri. Huh? Can't really fully get rid of depression. Not alone, at least. I turn to my bathroom. Don't make the same mistake I did. Yuri's words ring through my ears. I think it's best if we take this journey together. No one can battle their demons alone. I think I'd like that. So what do we do now? Keep on living, I suppose. Yuri may not be here physically, but I believe she's somewhere out there, waiting for me. Sayuri stares over at my bathroom as well. She then looks at my wrist. There's a small indent on where I press the glass against my arm. I need you to stay here. She places her small hands over the area of my arm I nearly cut open. Please. I stare at her. I peer straight into her blue eyes, her windows of the soul. I'll stay here. I grab her hand and try my fingers with hers. You promise? I promise, Sayuri. My story isn't over yet. Epilogue. Is that the ghost under the light there? 1 year later. Yeah, this recording's well over an hour, but I'm pretty sure I'm really close to the end, so, I mean, well, it is the epilogue, so. Anyway, I wake up to the sun, that should have one O in the two. Wake up to the sun telling me good morning. The early sunlight shines through my window, filling the room. I don't feel very well today, however. Today is an exceptionally difficult day to wake up to with two O's again. January 5th. Yuri's birthday. It's a grim reminder of how I failed to protect her. I begin to stretch out my arms. Time to get up. I finish my morning routine like any other day. Take a shower, get dressed, eat. Same daily routine every day. I do the same exact thing every day. For what I ask myself. It's not like I have anything to look forward to. I find myself thinking negative thoughts. It's these same thoughts that I think it's supposed to say led, which would be L-E-D, led to my death nearly a year ago. I'll at least slap some sense into myself. Hopefully I can knock out those bad thoughts as well. After all, I promised I would keep pushing forward, if not for me, then for Yuri. Today is a special day, and I have some very special plans. Swinging open my cabinet, I reach for a picnic basket. Next, I begin work on a platter of food. Make some sandwiches, grab some fruit and water, and pack some pastries for dessert. If I remember correctly, there should also be a spare blanket in the closet. Just double checking. I walk over and stop gently opening doors. I walk over and gently open my closet door. Perfect. Grabbing the basket, I toss it next to the basket. Food, water, blanket, looks like everything is packed. I place the basket near the door. Oh, I almost forgot. I rush upstairs to my bedroom. My backpack lays in the corner. I sling it over both shoulders. After making sure it's secure, I reach for the drawer. I stop. Frozen in place. As much as I want to, my arm refuses to move. My hand is locked inches from the handle as if they were both full of magnets with similar pulls. An eternity passes of just me staring at my desk drawer. In here holds a Pandora's box of all my memories. Using every piece of willpower, I grab the handle and pull it open. Inside is a badly wrapped rectangular gift. I grab the gift and head out my house. There's that expression again. It turns up a lot in this mod. Picking up the basket and blanket along the way. Once I'm outside, I begin to feel 10 times better. The sun beams down on my face and the fresh winter air fills my lungs. It's thin and clean. Despite it being sunny, the light breeze creates a perfectly balanced temperature. Couldn't have wished for more perfect weather. All the negative thoughts about today leave me and I'm left with only pure bliss. Continue my trek towards the destination. The park is as beautiful as ever. All the birds have left for the winter, creating a calming silence. Is he visiting Yuri? Only the sound of my footsteps and the whistling of the wind can be heard. Despite the perfect weather, there seems to be very few people here. I see a few groups in the distance, but other than that, it's empty. However, that's perfectly fine by me. Eventually I stray off the path. The dense forest begins to fade out and I find myself in the clearing. It's been exactly 1 year since I last visited this place. The grass looks a bit greener for some reason. Take a few more steps and find myself faced a branch with Toriuri. Well, haven't you grown big and tall now? It's grown a bit. Toriuri now stands just a bit shorter than me. Set down my basket and gift and begin to lay out the blanket. In less than 10 minutes, I've laid out all the food in front of me. Next, I pull out some stuff from my backpack, a portable tea set and a small oil diffuser. Oh. I start the portable Keurig, then grab the diffuser. It's a small wooden cylinder with a hole in the top. In the side pocket of my bag, pull out a small container of liquid. Pour some of its contents into the diffuser. A small ray of vapor begins to float out of it. I really need this level of detail. It's lavender. According to the internet, lavender has a calming effect on the body and mind. Only one more thing. I reach into my backpack and feel a hard, solid piece of wood. I pull it out and prop it in front of me. It's a framed portrait of Yuri, the same one she gave me a year ago as a thank you for being her boyfriend. Can't help but laugh. Back then it struck me as odd her giving me a picture of herself, but now it's all I really have left to remember her. I grab one of the sandwiches with an extra H there and start eating it. Ham and cheese, easy to make and taste great. It tastes, perhaps? Having Yuri's portrait here almost makes me feel not so alone. Hey Yuri, can you hear me? It's been a while since we talked, huh? I miss you, I really do. Yuri's picture does nothing but stare deeply at me. Everyone's doing good. Manka got kicked out of school. As for Sayuri, Natsuki, and I, we all graduated. Well, we all had to take some extra courses in the summer to graduate. None of us really went to school after what happened. But in the end, we did graduate. Natsuki actually got accepted into some sort of baking program at a university. We were all really happy for her. Started seeing Dr. Langton again. He accepted me back, even after my outburst. It's truly been a really big help. He even took up Sayuri as a patient. How great is that? Sayuri's been doing really well at battling her depression. I can't express how proud I am of her. The wind whistles past my ear. P-A-S-T. It's weird being outside in the winter. When you imagine the sound of nature, you usually picture birds chirping, but all the birds have flown south. So there's no sound of nature at all. There's nothing else around but open field, the cool wind, and my single cherry blossom. Every so often there can be a small splash heard from the lake created by some small animal. The only word I could really use to describe it is peaceful. A quick ding interrupts the serenity. My tea is finished. Pour it into 2 small cups. Place one cup in front of me and the other next to Yuri. The steam begins to rise through the cool winter air. Its smell reaches my nostrils. I take a sip. So long, your favorite. I'm no teasmith like you, but I think I did a pretty good job. I've actually picked up a few new hobbies influenced by you. Tea, reading, even started trying to write a book. Can you believe that? Another small gust of wind blows. Toriuri leans over from the force and a few bunches of leaves spring off. One leaf in particular catches my eye. The sunlight sparkles off it as it floats around in front of me. Eventually, the small pink leaf descends slowly and lands before Yuri's portrait. How about that? I brought something for you. I reach for the gift that has been beside me this whole time and hold it in front of Yuri's picture to show her. I'll open it for you. Begin to slowly rip open the wrapping. As I do so, my vision begins to blur as tears fill my eyes. I finish tearing off all the wrapping to reveal a rectangular-shaped object, a book. I run my fingers over the embossed title. A Sakura's Guide. That would be the sequel that they were looking forward to reading. Remember when you told me how excited you were for this book to come out? Well, it's out. Proudly hold the book up. Do you also remember when you made me promise to you that when the book came out we'd read it together? I solemnly stare down at the ground. These memories are really all I have left to hold. Well, I figure we could read it together now. My sad eyes stare at Yuri. Her expression never breaks. I don't know why it would. After all, it's just a picture, but to me, it's really her just here sitting with me. I guess you can't really be here physically, so I'll just read it out loud. I've gotten a bit better at reading, so hopefully I'm not too slow for you. I laugh at my lonesome sense of humor. With that done, I opened to the first page. According to Yuri, this book is a continuation of Infinite Isolation, the book that we read together way back when. Supposedly, this one has supernatural elements, has Kiana's spirit, and directly guides Lena to freedom. It's a story that Yuri and I were supposed to share together. Guess I should start now. Oh. More book excerpts. Loneliness is a fear that everyone must face alone. That's what I thought, anyway. But perhaps I was wrong. You're never truly alone. There's always someone looking out for you. I come back to my senses. What the hell, I mutter. The door spontaneously just opened. I stand frozen in place. No noises can be heard from the other side. For some reason, unbeknownst to me, I decide to turn around and look outside my window. Through the bars of the window, I see a single leaf from the sakura float into my room. It dances through the air before elegantly landing on the cement. What I do next, I'm not entirely sure why. I feel drawn to this leaf. I gently lower myself and pick it up. It glows as I twirl it around my fingers. There's a drastic difference between the elegance of this leaf and the dirtiness of my fingertips. It's a balanced sight to take in. Without thought, I place the leaf in my shirt pocket. About 10 minutes pass by, and I finish the first chapter. I timidly close the book and look up at Yuri. I'm no longer trying to hold in my tears. I let them flow down my cheeks like waterfalls. But tears don't fall, do they? Yuri. I'm just gonna save it. It's a nice CG. Aww. I truly do love you. You saved me. I choke on my words. You showed me a part of myself I didn't even know existed. You made me feel things I didn't quite understand. But for some odd reason, I was okay with that. For once, I saw what it meant to truly love something. To love something so much that you'd give them everything imaginable if you could. You're my world, and I'm sorry I couldn't protect you. My eyes are puffy and red, and my sleeve is damp from me wiping my tears. I'm going to keep moving forward, though. I promise you that. I'll never break that promise. His portrait stares at me. Your beautiful lavender eyes that still managed to pierce mine. But behind those eyes was a broken girl that needed someone to put her back together. It's hard to believe someone so perfect could be a part of this reality. She was pure. She wasn't from this world. She was a fallen angel. Now the angel has finally returned home. Hmm? Sorry.
I tend to have this feeling of being labeled an outcast, and every time I look down, I see memories of my past. I write this poem in red ink with the pages of my skin. There's only one solution. I don't care if it's a sin. And all the kids at school, oh, they just don't seem to understand that every single day I fight with the blade that's in my hand. I keep my secrets locked inside.
You keep your secrets locked inside.
It's close, but I resist.
I get close, but you resist.
But then you seize those red inked lines
that you've written
in my wrist.
I know you're hurting deep inside. promise it will be okay. I promise no one will hurt you. We can find that special day. You're too perfect for this world. Your heart is made of solid gold. I promise, pretty lady, that together we'll grow old. I'm never gonna let it up. Just promise me you'll never cut my amethyst angel.
It's bittersweet, the things he says, but I don't think that I can change. What is this feeling inside me? Why do I feel so strange? But he is caring, kind, and sweet. He's got passion in his eyes. He drives away the rain clouds, which before had left me blind. But these thoughts still won't leave me. I'm suffocating in this cage. All this pain must be released. Time to scar another page. I went into my world of pain.
I went into your twisted world of pain.
And you stuck with me throughout.
And I stuck with you throughout.
Such a beautiful person.
So beautiful. You're the one I can't live without.
But I can't live with this pain anymore. I'm sorry.
I parked my car and broke down your door. Went up the stairs into your room. The rain outside the window poured, and there I stood right over you. The scarlet marks along your arms, the crimson stains upon the floor, the blatant hand that caused the storm and stole the girl that I adore. You lay there still without a sound, and I fly up to heaven's sky. The casket sinks into the ground, and thus I say my last goodbye to my amethyst angel.
That flicker at the end is a little unfortunate. Okay. I hope the sound level of that was okay. I just sort of adjusted the volume on the fly at the end there because I thought that song was worth listening to. That was pretty cool. They have an original song at that for the conclusion. That's pretty awesome. Dear player, thank you so much for playing Doki Doki Fallen Angel. It has been a long year of development. Despite that, I do not regret taking on this project. It has changed my life in so many ways. Being part of this community and being able to share my work has been such a blessing. Thank you to the team for making this possible. I couldn't have done it without them. Excuse me. With Fallen Angel. No! Noah! Why? Well, I guess you can pause the recording, pause the video and read what he said there. Um, I didn't think the message was gonna go away. I didn't touch anything. Well, anyway, okay, I'm just gonna turn this off here and just oh, gallery, is that a new thing? Oh, neat. Oof. Oh. That's cool. Um, yeah, okay, so that was Doki Doki Fallen Angel. Man, what do I say after that? Um, it was cool. There's a lot packed into there. Like I like the framing device of like the 5 stages of grief at the end. You know, having the poems, and then you know this is MC going through denial, and this is MC going through anger, and this is MC going through bargaining, and so on. Um, and I really like the fact that you know, like it would have been so easy to go with the whole melodramatic Romeo and Juliet route and have him kill himself in response to Yuri's death, and it looked like it was heading that direction. Um, but but it didn't, and it actually turned it into something positive with a you know message of hope for the future, and which is super bittersweet. That scene of them, with the portrait of Yuri and and the cherry blossom and reading the book that they promised to read together is just, it's just, it's just, it's like super sweet and romantic image, and just in itself, and also the fact that, yeah, what am I trying to say here? I don't know. I'm having trouble collecting my thoughts right now. Because, yeah, I mean, after going through such a traumatic event as like loss of a loved one like that, it's like how do you move on from that? How do you pick up and move on? Um, and you know, like kudos to Noah. I mean, I think he handled that beautifully. Like honestly, um, like it really, I think it captured MC's like internal struggle with figuring out how to just struggling to deal with his what he's feeling, and the fact that was able to come out the other side of it, um, like realizing that moving on is the right thing to do, and like like you know and having Sayuri there for him, like someone who also like made a suicide attempt. Um, that was a really nice touch. And Also, man, these really doesn't like Monica, does he? I mean, a little addendum that oh, and Monica got kicked out of school. Um, Um, yeah, I guess he's just there to be the antagonist. Just oh well. Anyway, um, um, but yeah, it's cool. I mean, like, I've already talked about, again. I've talked about depression and suicide in previous videos I've recorded. But briefly, um, I have a friend. I know a number of people who've been suicidal, and I just one fond memory I have in particular. There was a friend I had who talked about it a lot, and there was one particular instance where I really thought that I wasn't going to see her again. Um, and and But I heard from her again years later, and she thanked me for like the kindness that I showed her. It helped her through it, and to come out on the other side of it with now she's like married with a kid, and promising new career, and and that after being in a situation where she felt like she hit rock bottom and lost everything and had nothing to live for, and I don't know. I just really cemented for me the idea that one, that things can get better even if it feels like everything is lost, and two, like it is absolutely worth talking someone out of killing themselves, um, and like no matter how bad things seem, like um, it's worth it to find reasons to go on, and like even if it doesn't feel like things can get better, because really when you're in that state, it really feels like things can't get better. Um, and and I've heard the criticism that like it'll get better, or things get better, or everything's going to be okay, and stuff like that is just words. Um, and yeah, arguably, yeah, they're just words, but sometimes people really need to hear those words, because it can things can get bad. It can feel like things won't get better, um, but they can, even if it doesn't look like it. And you see, like in that final scene, like MC is still sad and he still misses Yuri, but he's found a way to accept it and move on. And I just think it's really it's really touching and sweet, and um, not just that it's touching and sweet, but it sends an overall positive message that I think uh, like it sits better with me than I think than a tragic ending would have had, if that makes sense. You know, um, not going to name certain names of certain other mods, um, but but yeah, um, this is cool. It So yeah, yeah, it was enjoyable mod. I mean, I did feel like there were, and I commented a couple of times that there were a few places where it felt like it was getting bogged down in details when like I kind of wanted it to move forward. Um, but it wasn't it wasn't it's not like I mean, it didn't detract from my enjoyment of the mod. You know, it overall, um, overall, I really like what it had to say. That's cool. Um, and it was nice they um, you know, new artwork, not just the visual art, but like there's poetry and even an original song at the end. Um, I can tell that like a lot of um, you know a lot of you know creative work went into the making of this, and that's pretty cool. Um, so so yeah, um, yeah, yeah. I got nothing else except it's probably. I mean, it's cool that this has a message and all, and it's probably makes any message to be gleaned from my own mod seem to pale in comparison, quite frankly. Not that it's a competition or anything, but yeah. Honestly, kudos to Noah, the author, and the whole team behind Fallen Angel. This is yes, it's pretty cool. Um, and yeah, that's it. I've got nothing else. So yeah, until next time.